I'm still gonna work on a freaking intro. But yeah, if you haven't seen the previous live, I think I, who knows? I'm gonna go rock out with this freaking poll. I think I, and first and foremost, it's a literal poll. First and foremost, YouTube, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. But yeah, if you were in my other live, we were talking and discussing about how love is how we can get heaven on earth, which is so freaking true. Oh. Huh. I can't let y'all know what I just had an epiphany of, but but yeah. Wait. Yeah. Here's your friendly reminder. You don't need a battery to move anything. All you need is just a source of kinetic energy. That's all you need. You don't need a battery to move anything. But back to what I was saying. We were on about how love is the universal language, which is honestly so true. We're also talking about multiple ways into which how the younger generation can bring love for the older generation and for the younger generation too. First and foremost, start by taking care of yourself first and foremost. Because the moment that you can spread love to yourself, that's how you know you can spread love to others. And to those who can't give it to you, I can guarantee you that you 10 times out of 10 won't be willing to give it to another person. Which is why, again, I say, if you have listened to my previous live, that's why I say, learn how to listen to God. That is the number one thing that I would really say to you. Just learn how to sit back and just listen. Or just listen to yourself. Because that's how you get the miracles that you've been asking for. That's how you get everything that you've been wanting. And that's how you find out what truly makes you happy. Because the actual object does not make you happy. The process of it is what makes you happy and brings you that joy. And once you realize it's not the object but the experience that brings you joy, now you can just separate from any and everything that just does not serve you anymore. Basically, you strive for a new car, but you just want the feeling of what that car gives you, then you just get any freaking car, but one that caters to your experience, because everyone's experiences is different. That doesn't mean just go up and buy a luxury one. That means buy one that can last, that you can customize in your own unique way. And so yeah, with people like that, yeah, it is so easy, and I will keep reiterating this. So easy to give love. It's so easy to have heaven on earth. But the issue is that people don't allow themselves to experience heaven on earth because people tune into dramas. You've seen it. Like, I don't even know what that situation is really balled up into, but you've seen it with freaking Blueface and whoever he's dating. You see it with so many freaking drama series, drama shows. You see it with so many horror series that they stray away from that love energy. And we have to get back to that in order for us to really feel closer to God and feel closer to heaven. That's the only way that we can have heaven in the mental state, is if we get closer to the things that we love. The more we separate from that, the more spite, the more disdain that we have for ourselves and others. And that truly shows on the exterior. But yeah, that truly, and I will keep reiterating this, and I will continuously reiterate this. Love is the universal language. and love will continuously.
Hey,
Mm,
let's see if she's gonna have babies today or tomorrow.
mm,
Go to bed. Gotta be up at 5.
mm,
And I think Empress might be going. I think. If so, I just leave the key.
mm,
No, I think she's going.
mm.
Yeah. Yep, well, so hopefully she made it or tomorrow. I don't know.
She at the hospital?
She in the house. You gotta take her up there
Ah,
by 5 o'clock. They're supposed to induce her.
all right,
Yeah.
all right. Resume. Okay, so basically, what I was saying, love is the universal language. I will keep reiterating this. I will keep saying this. It's the emotion that we all want to experience constantly over and over and over and over again. Mm. And another epiphany is we want to get it from the same source. Basically, like we want to keep eating the same exact pizza from the same exact pizza spot because it gave us that experience of feeling love and goodness. But that's exactly how addiction starts. You start it, you like it, and then you keep going back to it because you want to keep experiencing more of it. Now remember, these physical things are not of the highest source. That's very different. The higher source always have love to give you more and more and more and more and more. The physical is not like that. When you consume and when you constantly indulge in things that once did make you happy, you tend to get addicted. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's with necessities like food and soda, and even with hard drugs. People feel good and they want to continue to feel good. But then when they get used to it, because it's always there, that's when they want to either do a higher dosage or they just try more. When really, the answer is that you just want to feel good. And people don't understand the power of the mind to just trick your own mind to feeling good. I'm gonna be so for real with you. Like, I'm gonna be so for real with you. You can just pause and just sit in peace and just think of something that'll make you feel good. Like, don't underestimate the power of the placebo. That has got to be God's greatest gift to us, the power of the placebo. The fact that we can heal ourselves, the fact that we can experience taste, touch, smell, and every freaking emotion without experiencing the exact same thing in the physical. That is a gift in and of itself, especially if you can do it very well. Like if you can just hear music in your head, because I know many people who can just bop out to a song in their head without no headphones, because they can just listen to it and just bop out to it, and they can just be in the zone with that. And I just realized I can just do the same exact thing. But yeah, more than one way to really experience that universal language. You don't always have to go to food or drugs to feel love. Sometimes you can go to a water park. You can sometimes just buy a crayon pack and a crayon coloring book and just color. Or sometimes you can just go to the park, or you can just travel to Japan, or sometimes you can just make a song, or sometimes you can just pop a little dance for a few seconds. Whatever gets you closer to feeling love every single day. And I would, and here's the one thing, because I'm so iffy on this, I would say go to other people who feel that love. But at the same time, there are so many people who get into relationships because they want to feel that love instead of allowing themselves to feel that love from themselves. Right? And that's where I pause at with freaking human beings. Like, there are other ways for you to experience love. And you can experience love through a human being. But just like addictions, when you try to get it from the same exact person instead of just spreading it out to others, that's when you that's when discourse starts to take place. So I highly advise that you all go and find other avenues that makes you happy or that gives you an experience of feeling joy, blissfulness, love, peace, etc. Because we only have one life. We only have one life. Why would we want to spend it thinking about how miserable this world is, how we can't change it? I'd say let's change it, no matter how small it is. Like, we know how messed up. Nah, kids, cover your ears. I will keep saying this when I'm about to curse. Cover your ears. I don't care how fucked up the world is. We can be nice to ourselves and our neighbors. I don't care how fucked up everything is, how shitty our planet is. There's still a chance for us to make heaven on earth. And there are people who have made heaven on earth. It's just that we shouldn't over abuse one technique or one tool or one thing in order for us to feel that. The moment we do is the moment that it doesn't work. And if you are going to stick to one thing, you're just going to have to take it and pause and just separate from it. Because that's how you can benefit from something like that constantly over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's how you can benefit from something like that. As opposed to something like you going to multiple different things when this doesn't give it to you, so you go to this and it does. But then this doesn't work, so you go to this, then you go to this. It's a whole complex web of things and ways that you should go about experiencing love. And it gets very technical, especially when you want to constantly experience it. And I don't blame you for wanting to constantly experience it, because that's why we have been placed on this earth. We've been placed on this earth to raise the frequency and to give love. The only issue is, as human beings with abundance, we tend to overindulge. And if we're not careful, that one thing that we went to gain that love is just gonna lose value in our eyes, when the value always stays the same objectively. Like the way we see that type of pizza, like the way we see Papa John's pizza, it's like, I don't want this no more. But then a few days later, you kind of want it. Instead of allowing yourself 2 weeks to a month, I wouldn't even say a year, 2 weeks to a month, to just allow that yearning to take place. Because underrated tip, when you allow desire to build up, when you finally get it, you experience more of it. You experience more of that love, more of that joy, more of that, oh my God, finally type of energy. It's like, and I, oh my God. Oh. I swear. I swear. It's like, to those of y'all who are a believer of God, whether you're Christian or not, when you finally get something that you've been waiting on, that feeling is so incomparable. But you have to go through it in order for you to experience it, because you haven't had that. And so that's what I want to convey to y'all. Find ways to experience this love language constantly, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Sheesh, let me go. Hold on. Old man Trey's got to get down. Telling y'all, I'm a 99-year-old in a 21-year-old body. But yeah. Anyways, to switch up the topic. Gosh dang it. Every time we always go to science with this. It's always, if it ain't uplifting y'all spirits, it's always freaking science. Now let's get back to what I was talking about earlier in this live. Don't think I forgot about this kinetic movement. There are multiple ways to achieve kinetic movement. And what I've used is just the magnetic force to achieve kinetic movement. The only caveat is, is the magnetic force to achieve kinetic movement. Sheesh. Sheesh. I feel drained. We're finna go and pause so I can build up my energy. So let's look and see what everybody else is saying. Let's see. Person, what's goody? AML Services Cole, what's good? May Finch, yoi, what's goody, yoi? And that seems like to be all the comments of whatever's. Sheesh. My battery is drained. I feel like I'm on. It ain't 5%. It's like it's low, but it's getting up there. It ain't 50 though. You know, it's weird how you can feel what battery percentage you're on. Like, am I the only one that can just feel that? Like, I don't feel 5%, but it ain't 50. It kind of seems like it's 15 to 20, but it ain't that. Like, it feels like I'm recharging. Like I'm at a good little 20, 30, but it ain't 40. Like, am I the only one that's like that? And if I am, then yay, I'm special. Yay. But yeah. The placebo effect is super powerful. I don't think people really take that into consideration how powerful the placebo is. You hear so many doctors just be like, I don't know how this person healed themselves. These are just sugar pills. I just said, take this and you'll feel better. And they did, and they felt better. In those rare cases, you have things that are like, how is it that belief alone is able to not only heal a person, but belief is also able to basically trick a person into feeling an emotion like they're right there? Like, right now, I can feel like I'm roller skating. You don't know that I feel like that. Only I do. And I can be feeling like that while I'm talking to a person. Like, I can feel like I'm just constantly roller skating. And that's the power of the placebo effect. Like, you can just feel a certain type of way every single day. You wouldn't even have to tell a person that you're feeling like this. You just feel like this. And what's weird is that something that you believe is affecting your body. That's what's strange. Something that you believe affecting your body. And you actually see this, right? With, I don't know what this effect is called, but it's when someone is in trouble, or when someone is trapped under rubble, or when someone is trapped under a car. You somehow muster the strength, no matter how weak you may seem, you somehow muster up the strength to lift up a car. Like you're just like a whole jack. And that's basically your own brain sending signals to your body to tell it to basically boost the adrenaline level so that you can have the energy to go lift up a car. And then, right, you have other people who believe that they can achieve something. They go and do it. They act like the person who inspired them, and they actually achieve it. Like, people say when you put your mind to it, you can achieve and be anything in life. And that's true. Like, that's true. The only issue is when you allow other people to try to stop you. But when you don't, you are unstoppable. Like, that's the truth. When you don't allow other people to affect who you are and how you are in this system, you are unstoppable. Meaning that's how you can have a person be like, I want to be the president of the United States of America. And become that. It's not like they won't have roadblocks. It's that their mentality is like, I'm going to do that no matter what you do to me. No matter what you say to me, no matter what you may try to call me, no matter what you may try to say to me, no matter what mean comments, no matter how you spend my name, I'm going to do this no matter what. And when you move with that type of energy, you are unstoppable. Can't nobody kids, cover your ears. Cover your ears. Can't nobody tell you shit. And I'm going to just say it raw like that. When you basically get in that mental state where it's like, I'm going to do this no matter what, that's when you are unstoppable. That's when nobody can tell you shit. And I I'm not even gonna say I'm gonna attest to that. There are so many people who are like that. I can't name a person. But if you come across a person who is successful or who is in the position that you want to be in, I can guarantee you they'll always say they never gave up. No matter if the roadblocks came or not, no matter if people talked about them, no matter if so many things said they couldn't, no matter if they themselves said they couldn't, they still did it. And that's beautiful how the human mind is that resilient. And people think, oh, how is it that a tiger got all these big freaking muscles, can jump so high? How is it that a lion can roar so loud to the point where when you close to it, its loudest roar, when you're close to its loudest roar, it can disrupt your eardrums? How is it that a monkey is small so that it can basically swing? How is it that an ant can basically move mountains and yet humans don't have nothing? We're just here. You're forgetting crucial things about the human body and the human psyche. Number one, we have intelligence. We know how to craft things and we know how to mimic. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean we copy, we mimic. We mimic doing things our own way to achieve the same results. Meaning, if you see an elephant reach for an apple, we use something like a grappling hook to do the same exact thing with less effort. And the number one most important thing is our resilience. When we want to achieve something, that is our superpower. Every human being has it. Every human being has an intelligence of how to do something, and every human being has the resilience to achieve it, no matter what or who says what to do and what not to do. That's our superpower. That's our superhuman ability as a being, as an animal in this freaking kingdom that has become the apex. And do y'all realize that? How we're not the strongest physically and we have no freaking advantages, and yet we're still on top. And the only reason is we're intelligent and resilient. That's just truth. Now, granted, not all of us are. That's why you have people that'll give up before their time. But that resilience is what keeps us pushing, that was keep us going. The most resilient are the ones who have everything stripped. They have nothing to live for, and yet they still go for something. And they get it, and they get everything back and then some. But it is not until you go through that stripped portion of your life where you're like, okay, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna give up and conform? Or am I just gonna keep going despite knowing that I have nothing to lose at this point? Those are the two paths. Those are the two paths that you chose. Not chose, but choose. There will be a point in your life where you feel like you lost it all. And so you'll have two things to choose. You can either choose to just either be sad, conform, or just give up. Or you can choose to keep going, no matter how hard it is, no matter how unlikely it is. No matter if you perish in the process, at least if you perish, you'll do it knowing that you went for a goal, knowing that you tried. You'll have no regrets. And when you go for this one, you'll see that the majority, not all, but the majority will usually get exactly what they want because they never gave up, even when everything and everyone told them they should. And that's the lesson here. Don't give up on yourself. Please don't. You just don't know how close you are to your miracles. Lord only knows what would happen if I did. Wouldn't be here talking to y'all, I know that. But yeah, intermission time. Let me go check what's the name? Let's see. You know, normally I be pretending that I don't see these type of comments At the same time, I'm interested in describing exactly what the placebo is, at least before I get off of here. And for unpause, the placebo effect is basically so stupid simply. Your brain basically tricking you into believing that what you or others tell you is actually happening. Like if a doctor tells you, take this pill and you'll get better, your brain will think, oh, I'm gonna get better if I take this pill. And it truly believes that because you have that much trust in that doctor. And when you take it, you're better. And science doesn't have an explanation for that. They don't know why that happens. There are so many cases of the placebo effect happening, and yet people don't understand how it happens. But they know it do. Yeah, I know where that magnet at. So yeah, a little crash course for my little buddy. Just little buddies. But I'm at 41%. I'm gonna get off of here. I've already exited y'all out in the other life, so Ashe peace out, adios. Mwah, mwah. Sheesh, how long? Come on, there you go.